as the former Member of Parliament of Kwanza constituency, his contribution in shaping the country's political landscape. But what is his other side?
I was a houseboy, and my interest was just animals. First African to come with his dog, that my dog is sick, was the late Kirubi. And I said, Kirubi, is this your dog or what is this?
Catch this exclusive interview with Noah Wekesa.
My interest in tennis was because of my children and because of myself and my wife.
Yeah.
We like tennis. So our interest started there. And I was the coach of Paul at that time.
This weekend on Legend Edition.
You gotta be pretty cool.
And you.
That sounds like a super fight.
Ili kupata sikiza tuni hii ya usifadhaishwe, bonyeza *811 *961 #.
Usifadhaishwe na mafanikio ya wengine ukihisi kwamba maisha yako hayana maana. Kumbuka, wengi huzungumzia tu mafanikio yao na si changamoto walizozipitia na ni mara ngapi walianguka. Tia bidii, muda wako utafika.
Ili kupata sikiza tuni hii ya usifadhaishwe, bonyeza *811 *961 #.
Gone? What are you doing in my compound? Sina pesa jamani, sina.
Leta pesa wewe.
Sina pesa jamani.
Dema, jo.
Kuna nini? I want a break. Are you going to have a baby? Yes.
It works like magic. You know what? From today, I'll be manifesting soft life in my life.
My friend, why are you hitting my car like a matatu? Sorry, I'm very sorry. What do you want?
Guys, I've been hacked. My account has been hacked. So how am I supposed to compete now?
Julia, do you love wearing dresses?
No, I like wearing animal skin. What kind of question is that?
From today henceforth, you should look at me as your biggest competitor in this institution. Yes.
Now, and from today onwards,
Yes.
you should wash your back. Okay? Yes. You young man, you should wash your back. Okay?
Good afternoon. This is Lunchtime News. We're glad that you could join us here on Lunchtime News. My name is Wmbiru, and today on our bulletin we have a comprehensive bulletin lined up for you this afternoon. And remember, you can interact with us on our social media handle at KBC Channel 1. Now, to kick us off, the government has urged members of the public to remain at home and follow the JAMHURI national celebrations to be held at Uhuru Gardens in Nairobi virtually. The government says, in adherence to the Ministry of Health COVID-19 prevention protocols, the number of guests at the venue will only be 11,000. According to Nairobi Regional Commissioner James Kianda, only those who have received invitation cards will be allowed inside Uhuru Gardens tomorrow. At the same time, members of the public have been urged to work closely with law enforcement officers to make the event a success.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Sherehe za mwaka huu za Jamhuri hazitafanyika kwa ule uwanja wetu tunaojua wa kawaida wa Nyayo, lakini zitafanyika katika uwanja mpya ama ukumbi mpya wa Uhuru Gardens. Na sherehe hizi kulingana na mpangilio ambao tumefanya na kwa sababu ya changamoto ambazo tuko nazo za ugonjwa wa COVID ama corona, imeonelea ni vizuri tupunguze idadi ya wale watu ambao tunaalika kwa idadi ya tuseme watu 10,000. Kwa jumla tutakuwa na wageni kama 11,000. Hivyo ni kumaanisha ya kwamba wale wageni waheshimiwa tutakuwa na wageni kama 1,000. Na wale ambao tumealika kutoka Nairobi ambao ni Wakenya wenzetu ambao wanatakana kuja na kusherekea pamoja nasi watakuwa ni 10,000.
RC will brief you on it. He has I don't want to.
In other news, the call to end female genital mutilation by the 2022 dominated speeches during celebrations to mark the end of 16 days of activism against gender-based violence held in Mosiro area, NANAK East Sub-County. The law calls government officials, non-governmental organizations and the civil society agreed to end the retrogressive cultural practice that is rampant in the pastoralist community. NANAK East Sub-County Deputy County Commissioner Wmbiru said they have been working with like-minded organizations and churches to educate the residents on the need to protect women and girls.
Tumeweza kuhakikisha kwamba tumeeneza kwa baraza na pia katika mikutano ya kina mama kuhakikisha kwamba haki za kina mama na watoto zimepatiwa kipaumbele. Hasa tumehakikisha kwamba watoto wetu ambao walikuwa wametoka shule especially kwa sababu ya COVID-19 tumeweza kufanya campaign ya kuwarudisha wote shuleni na kuhakikisha kwamba wale ambao kidogo hawakuwa wamerudishwa wazazi wao tumewachukulia hatua.
Tunataka kuongoza watu wetu kwa kitendo, waone ni sisi ndio tunaanza kufanya haya mambo. Ukiwaelezea na bado wanaona wewe unaendelea kufanya kazi hiyo ya mila, itakuwa huwezi kuwafundisha.
Still on the same, civil society groups in Nakuru have raised concerns over the increasing cases of gender-based violence in the country. According to the lobbyists, gender-based violence cases were on an upward trajectory, with the incidents coinciding with increased spousal killings. Speaking in Nakuru during celebrations to mark the end of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, Youth African Women Initiative Executive Director Fidelis Karanja asked Kenyans to find appropriate ways of solving differences rather than resorting to violence. She petitioned the county government to help in setting up protection measures such as provision for safe spaces in all the 11 sub-counties.
Ya tukihimiza wamama ambao wanadhulumiwa katika maboma zao wakaweza kujitokeza, wasijifiche, wakaweza kutokea katika umati ndiposa wakaweza kujulikana, maana tuko na organizations mingi ambazo ziko pale za kuja kusaidia wale wamama, na tumekuja kuona ya kuwa gender based violence haiko tu kwa wamama bali iko hata kwa wanaume.
And so we need to sensitize our community. We need those programs, as we are calling upon the government to come and we work together with other civil societies. Civil societies, we are rich, we have a lot of information, and we link together, we work together, where you can get, where there is awareness, there is another person who can offer legal aid, there is another person who can offer shelter, there is also another person who can offer skills, and even integrating the survivors to the community.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has today unveiled the statue of Kenyan independence hero, Pan-Africanist and former cabinet minister, the late Ronald Gideon Ngala, on Ronald Ngala Street in Nairobi. The monument in honor of the late Cooperatives and Social Service Minister has been unveiled 50 years after his death and on the eve of the 2021 JAMHURI Day celebrations.
Saturday morning along Ronald Ngala Street in Nairobi, President Uhuru Kenyatta, accompanied by top government officials, unveiled a statue of the late Kenyan independence hero, the late Ronald Gideon Ngala.
Shujaa ambaye alijitolea hali na mali kwa sababu ya uhuru wa wananchi wa jamhuri hii yetu ya Kenya. Lakini pia shujaa ambaye alichampion ile devolution ambaye siku ya leo wa Kenya kutoka kila kona wanajivunia, tukiwa tumepeleka services na pesa mashinani.
The president acknowledged the prominent role played by the late Ngala in nation building, celebrating the Pan-Africanist former Jimboism, a precursor of modern-day devolution.
That we are here to celebrate a hero who was one of those who laid a solid foundation for the Kenya that we know and have today. Na tutaendelea kwa njia hiyo hiyo kupitia sasa ile sheria ambayo tumepitisha, the Heroes Act, ya kuhakikisha ya kwamba mashujaa wote ambao wametangulia watakumbukwa kwa njia moja ama nyingine, na kuhakikisha ya kwamba vizazi vijavyo zina uwezo wa kujua wale ambao sisi zote siku ya leo tunasimama juu ya mabega yao. Kwa hivyo,
attended by the family of the late politician led by his son and former long-serving cabinet minister Noah Katana Ngala.
It is the month when we remember and celebrate our beloved father Mzee Ngala. Mzee Ngala is remembered for his sterling service to Kenya as a nationalist and a strong believer in regionalism. Some of his greatest contributions to our nation's development include laying the foundation for devolution in Kenya through Majimboism and championing the development of our political parties through the one-party system.
The late Gideon Ngala died in a road accident on December 25th in 1972. For Lunchtime News, I'm Zainab Said.
Kenya Broadcasting Corporation news television anchor and reporter Safin Chingoma is the overall winner of the inaugural Journalist for Human Rights Awards. Safin also bagged the television category award, both accolades, and for a feature story, The Silent Pandemic, which highlights infertility among women. The in-depth report was broadcast on KBC Channel 1 in March this year. Let's take a look.
Safin Acheng, who's the winner of the TV category, outright winner. We didn't need any other competition, right? Like, it's just her and her and her. Congratulations for your good job well done.
Cheers and jubilation filled the air at the Boma Hotel in Nairobi.
You said go be a boss. Amen. Amen.
As Safin Achieng Ouma was crowned the overall winner of the Journalists for Human Rights Annual Awards and the best in the television category.
A better hand clap for Safin, please. Come on, guys.
It is the first time the awards are being in the country, and it's no mean feat for Safin, a television news anchor and a reporter.
Africa has one of the highest infertility,
who is fast rising as a human rights champion.
Was not enough to fill the gap of being childless.
Her winning piece is a feature on infertility among women, aired as a 3-part series between Wednesday, March the 17th and Friday, March the 19th this year.
I loved my husband because he respected me. Her high spirits as she narrates their love story can mislead you to think that her marriage was a bed of roses.
The well-researched story titled The Silent Pandemic saw Safin travel to a silent village in Bondo, Siaya County to highlight the plight of affected women.
Courage training for these journalists so that they can also produce better features. Congratulations to all the winners, and you now have Kibarua to defend these awards next year.
For your story, Safin, because we could see the pain. The ladies you spoke with, some had accepted their fate, and there were solutions at the end of it all. You even looked at the law and what it says and what efforts are.
She hopes to inspire change in perceptions and promotion of human rights through her stories.
I'm really happy right now. I'm not used to interviews. This is a responsibility that I'm holding here right now. It's not an award because I'm good. It's a responsibility to use my gift as a storyteller to impact my society.
Well, other winners in the inaugural award, organized by the Journalists for Human Rights, a non-governmental organization, Wmbiru from the Daily Nation, Nancy Aguti from the Star newspaper in the print category, Nuru Mwalimu from Radio Rahme, and Lina Momachi from Radio Sifa. Serafina Robi for Lunchtime News.
Well, congratulations, Safina Chingoma, on your achievement. Now, we move on. Many National Congress allied MPs from Kakamega County have backed the move by party leader Musalia Mudavadi to boycott the Azimio La Umoja convention at Kasarani Stadium yesterday. Led by Kakamega Senator Cleophas Malala, the leaders said Mudavadi was committed elsewhere, and the allegations that he snubbed the rally in which ODM chief Raila Odinga announced his presidential bid was neither here nor there.
On Thursday, ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi was missing in action at the ODM leader Raila Odinga's Azimio La Umoja convention in Kasarani, Nairobi, citing personal engagements. However, a section of leaders from Kakamega have supported the move by Musalia Mudavadi not to attend the meeting.
Wewe unaweza kuwa unatongoza msichana na mwanaume mwingine, alafu huyo mwanaume anataka huyo msichana, alafu anakualika kwa party. Unaweza enda kwa hiyo party kweli?
The leaders, while addressing a rally in Malava, said it was time for the Mulembe nation back Mudavadi for the presidency.
Mimi ningependa kuambia watu wa Azimio la Umoja, it is not about Musalia Mudavadi, it's about our people. We are the ones going to decide where Musalia Mudavadi is going. Hii maneno hakuna leo kufanya kwa bedroom, si ndio?
Meanwhile, Kisumu residents now want Odinga to name his running mate, saying the candidate must complement the ethos of the former premier.
Yule running mate ambaye tunamhitaji ni yule atakuwa mkakamavu, mwenye atamtii, mwenye atakuwa akisikia, maana unaona mzee pia katika umri wake atataka yule mtu sasa kidogo amtume nje
na waangalie agenda. Hata kama sasa kwa mama, at least sasa hiyo kitu kwe for the first time in Kenya vice president ikuwe mama.
And Azimio la Umoja convention speech by ODM leader Raila Odinga continued to elicit mixed reactions across the country.
Raila ndio ako na uwezo ya kuweka hii Kenya penye tunataka. Manake Raila amesema anaenda kudili na corruption.
Kila kitu ni mahesabu. Mwenye ambaye ameongea kuhusu hii pesa itatoka 6,600 kwa mwezi inawezekana kwa sababu yeye ana mahesabu yake na huyu ana mahesabu yake. Hao wapinzani wana mahesabu yao.
Ben Chumba, Lunchtime News.
Experts in aquatic ecosystems have expressed worry over threats on aquatic biodiversity in Africa. Speaking at the Conserving Aquatic Biodiversity in African Blue Economy meeting held in Naivasha, fisheries expert Dr. Mohamed Seise said that climate change is also posing a great danger to the survival of aquatic life.
Tuna resources, for example.
Dr. Sise is urging African Union member states to work towards increasing vegetation cover as a mitigation measure in reducing carbon emissions that are worsening climate change and its impacts on aquatic ecosystems.
This is brought about partly by the actions of human beings, because climate change, the impact can be minimized, for example, if you have a lot of plants, aquatic plant, that can capture the emissions.
Dr. Sise, who is a fisheries expert at AU IBA, notes that certain fish species have started moving deeper into the oceans, seas and lakes due to the warming temperatures along the shallow waters, a matter he said would complicate sustainable fishing on the continent. He warned that this movement will make it difficult for fishers who lack the requisite equipment to access the fish species.
We need to implement strategies. You are talking about strategies in order to encourage African Union member states, including nature-based solutions, to plant trees. Because when you plant trees, you understand, you minimize the effect of climate change on the wildlife, the aquatic living resources.
He called for zoning of Lake Victoria in order to reduce conflicts among fishermen who use canoes to fish and those that are engaged in fish farming using the cages. Dr. Sise urged member states to also put in place guidelines and regulations that will guide fish farmers on sustainable ways of growing the fish without interfering with the ecosystem.
Sustainable practice of cage farming will take place in these ecosystems, and you take into consideration the kind of feed you use in terms of density, you understand, so that you minimize the impact of the feed that is not eating percolating into the entire ecosystem.
These two causes of...
In other news, in marking the International Anti-Corruption Day today, Kenya Forest Service was joined by the United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime and the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission in unveiling 3 policy documents and a toll-free hotline number. The documents are aimed at guiding the institution's strategy in preventing, combating, averting and reporting corruption. Speaking during the launch, Ministry of Environment and Forestry's Administration Secretary Joel Kitili challenged KFS to institute adequate adoption mechanisms of the tools outlined in the manuals.
Today is a very important day to raise public awareness in the devastating effect of corruption on our society and commit to tackling all corruptive practices for the benefit of all.
In Forest Service, like any other government institution, has a mandate to mainstream and implement corruption prevention related policies. And one of the areas that we are working in is actually implementation of our performance contract target on corruption prevention.
Companies under Export Processing Zone Authority in Athi River have been hit by an acute water shortage that is threatening the closure of businesses. Now, according to a section of the investors, the persistent water crisis has led to reduced production of 17 companies operating in the zone. They noted that for more than 2 weeks, textile, agrochemicals and pharmaceutical companies have been forced to buy saline water from vendors.
Hii maji imepotea kwa muda wa more than 18 days. Hakuna maji inapatikana kwa zone na kampuni iko na watu wengi. Ukienda kwa choo hakuna maji, maji ya kunywa hakuna. Tunaletewa maji na lori ambayo hiyo lori hatujui inatoa wapi maji yake ambayo tunatumia. Na hiyo maji imetuletea magonjwa mengi sana.
Tunapaswa sisi wenyewe wa mama tujibebe maji ndio tukuje tukunye masaa ya kufanya kazi juu hakuna maji ya kukunywa. Ile maji tunaletewa ni kutoka nje na ni maji ya chumvi. Maji ya chumvi hatuwezi kunywa. Alafu ya pili, macho zetu tunatumia maji kwa wingi na hatuna maji. Hiyo maji haitoshi.
The government has read a riot act to Kenyans with illegal electricity connections, saying the law will soon catch up with them. The Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Energy, Dr. Gordon Kihalangwa, says as much as the ministry remains committed to reviewing electricity tariffs downwards, the losses occasioned by illegal connections was the main bottleneck. He called on the members of the public to collaborate with relevant authorities to curb commercial losses.
Illegal connection ya stima sio vizuri. Tafadhali wale watu wanakonektia wewe stima kwa nyumba wawe ni watu who are registered, kwa sababu wakati mwingine hizo vitu vinaweza kuwa na maafa. I want you make sure that in your homes you have got the right power, you have got the right meter. Ndio sasa the Ministry of Energy to ensure that we are working towards reducing the tariff. But tariff will be reduced through very many ways. Kwa njia mingi. Kwa sababu tutahakikisha kwamba iko commercial losses. Commercial losses mingi ni ya kuiba. Watu wanaiba stima. So sisi sasa tuanze sasa tuko na jukumu ya kuhakikisha kwamba tunapunguza. Lakini sasa mtusaidie. Hakikisheni ya kwamba watu wanawacha kuiba au kutumia stima bila kupitia kwa mita.
Kenya has made a declaration to move from the current 600,000 hectares of irrigation to 1.2 hectares in the next 2 years. The move is aimed at making Kenya food secure as drought continues to wreak havoc in most parts of the country. Speaking during the 33rd graduation ceremony at the Kenya Institute of Water, Chief Administrative Secretary, Water, Sanitation, Irrigation, Andrew Tuimur challenged members of the public to enroll for courses in the water sector, saying they are highly marketable. The 1,143 graduates were urged to be innovative and use knowledge and skills gained to help the country overcome climate change challenges.
Thank you for that.
This institution, you realize it's an old institution that needs new infrastructure to ensure that it attracts more graduate students, especially in the field of water resource management, of course, irrigation, which is very key for us as a nation, because we want to ensure that we improve our irrigation from the current about 600,000 acres to another 1.2 million in the next 2 or so years. So the graduates that are graduating today, which are 1,143, are graduating in various fields, some with diplomas, some with certificates in various courses. And we are really happy that as a ministry we have an institution that can churn out these graduates that we really require in the water sector. We need to ensure that we sensitize the students from secondary school and the other institutions, so that they know that we have an institute that offers various programs, not only water engineering, but in water resource management, in irrigation, and the various other aspects in communication technology and all the other fields.
So today we want to increase on the course intake, especially on irrigation and wastewater treatment training. They are not prominent when we talk about water resource training. People just believe that it is just about a matter of water engineering. But we have other various courses that are required and are needed in the field today.
And on that note, we'll take a short break. Up next is sports news. Don't go too far. We'll be right back.
This Sunday, watch the JAMHURI Day celebrations live on KBC Channel 1 on the 12th of December 2021, presided over by President Uhuru Kenyatta at the Uhuru Gardens.
Gone? What are you doing in my compound? Sina pesa jamani, sina.
Leta pesa wewe.
Sina pesa jamani. Dema, jo. Kuna nini? I want a break. Are you going to have a baby? Yes.
It works like magic. You know what? From today, I'll be manifesting soft life in my life.
My friend, why are you hitting my car like a matatu?
Sorry, I'm very sorry.
What do you want?
Guys, I've been hacked. My account has been hacked. So how am I supposed to compete now?
Julia, do you love wearing dresses?
No. I like wearing animal skin. What kind of question is that?
From today henceforth, you should look at me as your biggest competitor in this institution. Yes.
Now, and from today onwards,
yes,
you should wash your back. Okay? Yes. You young man, you should wash your back. Okay?
Welcome back. Now in the sports arena, five-time KNRC two-wheel drive champion Leonardo Varis is upbeat ahead of Sunday's season-ending KCB Guru NANAK rally. The rally will cover a cumulative distance of 154 kilometers.
The Nairobi-based driver was unstoppable in his two-wheel drive class on the technical Nanyuki gravel in October, where he had returned from a long 2-year sabbatical. He led his class throughout to register his first win in 2 years. Varese says his mission is to survive the long energy sapping stages in Ilbisil.
We've had to go into the last round fighting for the championship, and in 3 occasions was the title decider, and it always fared well for us, so we have good memories of that rally.
Varese has 2 targets in Ilbisil: to finish the Sikh Union Club organized round and test his Toyota Auris two-wheel drive well in time for full season next year. The multiple Kenya two-wheel champion will team up with Kigo Kareithi.
This rally especially has a very long stage, which we've not done for a long time. It's a 60-kilometer stage, so it's a bit of You need to keep your energy up, your concentration up. So basically that's the decider of the rally.
The event will feature a two-stage loop which will be repeated twice to make up a cumulative competitive run of 154 kilometers.
Interim boss Ralph Rangnick says he will not try to convince midfielder Paul Pogba to stay at Manchester United if he has made up his mind to leave. Pogba rejoined United in a then world record £89 million transfer from Juventus in 2016. However, the French World Cup winner is out of contract next summer and free to speak to other clubs in January. Pogba has been sidelined for United's last 7 matches after sustaining a thigh injury on international duty with France.
That's all of it.
Well, that brings us to the end of our bulletin this afternoon. Thank you for choosing Lunchtime News. For more news, check out our website at kbc.co.ke. My name is Jackie Wmbiru. Our sign language interpreter is Byron Abuli. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Mark, what do you think you're doing?
Minding my own business because it has got nothing concerning you.
Do you still have an ounce of respect left for me?
What's up?
How often does Lauren show up here?
Relax.
Christina!
What do you want, Mark?
I am